I have a real love-hate relationship with Game Boy fighting games. Many of them, especially anything before 1994 or so, are so uncomfortably bad that it's hard to remain completely rational. The response time nearly always sucked, hit detection would be busted, the two face buttons not used economically enough to give us a versatile or even usable control scheme. Then, on the other hand, there was Takara. Rarely were there mid to late Game Boy titles comparable to the Neo Geo Pocket's wondrous roster, sure, but compare Samurai Showdown or King of Fighters to Pit Fighter or even Mortal Kombat on this system, and they are leagues apart. Responsive, tight controls that didn't lose too much by being a D-pad rather than a joystick or a clicky stick, smooth frame rate, and by and large some gorgeous presentation, and you were well away. Thankfully, this title is in the second of those camps, at least on the surface. Takara's first involvement anywhere on the Game Boy Color was not their own development, which was handed over to Guybrain. These guys didn't do all that much across their 7-year existence, apart from mainly porting SNK and Takara fighting games to handhelds and some 16-bit consoles, and they had the occasional similar arrangement with Sega. As for their Game Boy output, they were responsible for porting King of Fighters 95 and Heat of Battle, as well as Real Bout Fatal Fury Special, all Takara fighting games. This particular game is one of those Japanese exclusives with the ridiculously long name that inevitably ends up getting translated and transliterated a million different ways. But what you need to know, really, is that it's based off the Transformers cartoon spin-off Beast Wars. I think the Kettou part of the title is a sort of play on Takara's Neto series, and it kind of means a similar thing, duel or fight. But I suppose as this is a different universe to Fatal Fury and stuff like that, they needed to delineate the IPs somehow. Answers in the comments please, as usual. There are certainly a lot of similarities between the two in terms of the way the games feel and play. The Autobots and Decepticons have gathered together in another dimension in search of the fabled Energon crystal, which is said to grant the wish of whoever holds it. However, both sides reach the crystal at the same time, whereby they hear a mysterious voice claiming that that power will be bestowed upon the strongest side. As good a motivation for a fighting tournament as any, I suppose. Control-wise, it's on the simpler side. B is punch and A is kick, and by long pressing these you can perform a stronger attack. Select transforms between robot mode, beast mode, and machine mode. This often changes your movesets and abilities. You get a power gauge, which you can charge up at any time by pressing down A and B altogether. When this is full, up A and B activates what's called hyper mode. This causes you to flash and increases all your stats such as speed, attack power, and so on. You can freeze the opponent for a short while by pressing down twice followed by A. This can't be done indefinitely, you get like 3 uses per fight, but it can really help you out in a pinch. You'll also get special moves that can be performed when either the gauge is full or your health is in the red. Health bars have 3 stages here. When the green health bar is depleted, it turns yellow, then subsequently red, then defeat, obviously. You can play through the story mode as a single character or a team of 3. They'll swap in one at a time rather than all being there at once, which would be carnage and probably cause the Game Boy to explode. You also get access to some mini-games, if you care about such things. They're not all available straight away, but require unlocking. Punch and Go is simply a button-mashing one, whereas Guard and Go sees you defending against projectiles that are flying towards you. There are some auto-scrolling ones, spot the difference ones, and others. None are amazing, they're mini-games after all, but they're a little extra that's there. This has some pretty cool Super Game Boy support, as we usually saw with any of the GBC dual-mode cartridges that still worked on older hardware. These are going to become fewer and further between in this series, but while we still have them, I'll do my best to show off the cool borders and stuff. As well as that, this title was one of the small handful of games that had Game Boy printer features. There really weren't that many of those, whereby you could apparently print off handy move lists and stuff for each character. Can't imagine a ton of players used that feature, but it was there nonetheless. The real things to pay attention to when reviewing a fighting game fundamentally boil down to how well the game plays. Everything else goes on top of that. The response time here is perfect, as you would expect from Takara, and the controls just work. Special moves are actually achievable. Hey, Takara wouldn't allow anything less than the most accurate, and once again it's been pulled off here. I'm not convinced there's the same level of variation across the roster of fighters available, nor are their move lists that extensive. Transformers fans can at least be grateful that their game wasn't muffed up, like so many cartoon tie-ins of a similar description were. You've got a thoroughly playable brawler here.